Hello and welcome to the Marry Your Best Friend podcast. This is number 13, episode 13. I'm John, and I'm sitting next to my beautiful wife of 34 years. And we're also going to see how patient she is with this episode because I don't think she's excited about the topic. Tonight, I'm John, this is my wife Suzanne, and well, someday, one of us is going to be single. What do you think about that, Suzanne? Think one of us is going to be single someday?
I think you are correct. I am not a fan of this topic.
You're not a fan of this topic. You never like to talk about death. You never like to talk about anything.
I do not.
Like
that is not something that I enjoy.
But the reality is, at some point, I may be back on the market.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah. The whole reason why we're doing this episode is because, for some reason, every one of my single friends, all of them, Mark, Cliff, I'll just start naming them. The day I die, they'll ask you to marry them.
They just want pie.
Every one of my single friends will marry you tomorrow, and none of your friends would marry me.
Yeah, the other night when we were walking out of church and you said to Denise that somebody mistakenly thought
No, Denise came up. Denise came up and thought that
she was like, no.
Yeah. It really is good for a man's self-esteem when you're best friend. So, I mean, literally, some guy walked up to her, was at church, and he goes, "Oh, is that your husband?" And she was like, "Oh, no. No, he's not my husband."
Yeah, she was pretty appalled by it. But I think you have some fantastic qualities.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Well, so...
Or I wouldn't have been here for so long.
That's true. But
Lord knows I would have hitchhiked right out of here.
So the preparation that we did for this podcast was we called one of my single friends. We asked about the dating apps.
We prepared.
You were on the phone.
I did absolutely nothing.
You were on the phone.
I'm not a fan, so I'm just going to go with the flow here.
I know you're not a fan, but I think the reason why we're even talking about this is you did an episode where you talked about my unique traits.
You mean all your rules?
Well, a few of those things, a few of the things that I guide my life by, but
guide your life
and I think
by.
that's going to totally ruin
Wowzers.
any chance that I have. Someday, if God ever calls you home and I am a single man, I think that podcast is going to ruin any future that I have of happiness.
You shouldn't have happiness when I'm gone. That's it. That's my goal. My goal is for you to be completely distraught, unhappy, never marry again.
My goal is for you.
You're so sad to lose me that you're just done.
If I were to pass
with love,
if I was to pass before you,
I would be done with love.
Well, it's easy for a woman to live without a man. It's not easy for a man to live without a woman.
I know. You can always hire a handyman. That's really all we need you for.
Well, I appreciate that.
When we get older, really, that's it.
Yeah. So. No, it's just it's interesting to me that I wish that you, upon my death, will do everything that I asked you to do in my funeral.
Oh, I'm not doing any of that.
Well, honey, I think
you're not here. You don't know. I'm going to do what I want.
No. I have it all written out. I have exactly what kind of service I want. The evangelical service. You have. I have the massive Christian burial kind of written out. I know what songs I want to be done.
Lord, my God, you have given me rules our entire marriage. When you are done, when you are gone, I am going to do exactly. As
but you need to honor. So I also think that there are certain things that I know that I'm going to be cremated.
Well, we agree on that.
Yes, and I know that I'm going to be cremated, and
I'm going to carry you around.
Catholics have a different view of spreading the ashes or not spreading the ashes. You're supposed to honor the body and keep it together. And if I am put at sea, that I'm all supposed to be, like all in a box all at one time, that type of thing, if that's the option. My biggest fear, and I've told people this,
I hate talking about this.
I fear that you're going to carry me around in a box everywhere you go.
I will. I'm going to strap you in.
You're going to go to
Fancy
Nails. You're going to go to Fancy Nails, get your nails done, and you're going to leave me there with Nikki. Like the next 6 weeks, you'll come back and go, "Have you seen my husband?" "Oh, yes, Suzanne. He's been here for 6 weeks."
I left my wallet there the other day, and she was calling me that I left my wallet. The next time she calls me,
if you leave your wallet, you need money more than you need me. How long did you leave your wallet there?
Oh, I don't know. I was like with your mom. We'd eaten dinner and everything. I don't know. I Honey, I'm not going to leave you at Nikki's.
You might leave me at Fancy Nails. You might walk out of Fancy Nails and drop me on the pavement and like spread up. I can see you gathering like my ashes and cigarette butts all in one box.
I just need you with me all the time.
So
I can yell at you and tell you how mad I am that you're not there.
I would say that our one listener, but we actually have a lot of listeners now. We had like a big gain last week.
We did have a big gain?
We did have a big gain. I got a little notice.
Amazing.
We had like 750 downloads.
Shut up.
That's the little thing they mailed me.
They mailed you something?
Or an email. Well, not physical mail. Nobody sends physical mail.
I thought we might get, how the TikTokers, they get like gifts in the mail and stuff.
We don't get gifts.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
No, but what we did get was like a virtual certificate, which means that I pay this company that like does our podcast on Apple and Spotify and Google and all those other places. I pay them each month, and wouldn't you know it, we got an electronic certificate, which cost them a lot of money to send an email.
I'm sure.
With a certificate that said, "Congratulations, your episode hit 750 downloads."
Wow.
Yeah, so
we're reaching the people, as my dad would say.
Either that, or somebody at the Indiana State Penitentiary discovered our podcast and is sharing it with people, and they're tracking us now.
No, I don't think that's
okay. So let's talk about this. So at some point, one of us is going to be single. And today, in this day and time, you and I have been married for 34 years. It'll be 35 years in June, and we knew each other for 4 years before that. Mm-hmm. When I told you that I wanted you to marry me and how much I loved you.
Yes, told me.
I told you that you were the one for me.
See how you just tell me how to do stuff always.
You were in a beginning of a romantic relationship with some cute baseball player with tight pants, but you didn't have Tinder back then. You didn't have apps like Hinge or any of these things. You didn't have any apps. You just met people because they just saw you walking across campus.
I guess that's the way we all did it back in the day, isn't it? Because I don't go to a city or a church or any kind of a function that I don't run into somebody that you dated.
Oh, well, that's not the topic of this conversation, okay?
In
that's
every
a whole nother
city
episode.
in the nation, there's some, I went out with her.
Well, not really went out. We were friends.
Oh, we did, and whatever.
So
there's always an ex-girlfriend in my shadow. That's
so
for sure.
Even like in our son and his beautiful bride, they met each other when we were at the restaurant where she was working.
Correct.
But then an app helped them actually connect.
Yes.
So like instead of
they knew each other and then they saw
knew
each other
then
on
they
the
saw
app.
each other and they connected. So
yes.
So what we're gonna do tonight. Or daytime, whenever you're listening to this, if you're our friend Missy and you're working out right now and you're sweating. Actually, she's probably sweating thinking about Jon Stewart being single because she would feel guilty. Like she would
feel guilty.
She would be like, "Oh God, John on the market. I don't know if I can handle this. Like I should probably take him something to eat."
I think all my friends would really protect my memory.
Yes, they would.
And make sure that you didn't do something stupid.
But your friends would also sign up on whatever app that I was on and tell every woman around there about me.
Do you know what you're getting into? Do you know what's about to happen? Because if you swipe right, I'm telling you.
Is the right way, right?
Right, I guess.
Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about the app. So my friend that will go nameless here.
Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, isn't that how it goes?
No, that's how you do a screwdriver. But anyway. Where did you learn that? Did you have shop class in college?
No, I am a farm girl. I know how to do it. And every time I go out there and have to undo those stupid spigots out there in the barnyard, I have to tell myself, righty-tighty.
Well, the good thing is, since you said you're a farm girl, there's an app that will
I'm
be
sure
very...
there's an app for that.
So here we go. So here are the apps that are on our radar. And of course, if you're single, you're like, oh dear God, I can't believe they're talking about this.
I can't believe we're talking about this.
Well, here's the deal. So here's the apps that I know of. So if you're single and you're like, oh, I've never heard of that one, I will try it. Or if there's something that we have missed, forgive us because
we're married and we don't use these things. Now, do we?
So here are the apps that I'm aware of. Tinder, which Tinder is known as a hookup app, according to my friend.
According
to my friend, he says that it's a hookup app. Farmers Only is an app that would appeal to those who are interested in a rural or agricultural lifestyle.
They have funny commercials.
They do have funny commercials, and Farmers Only Farmers Only. It's for people who care about horses and livestock and living outdoors. And
they put you with somebody, I guess. They would put you in the circle of people that would...
even if you're a woman in New York City who is interested in a farmer, then she can go to Farmers Only.
You don't get out of the city.
There you go. So Tinder, Farmers Only. Here's one that I'm not going to say which one of our fathers was single at one point in his life and was his sister, literally within like a week of their divorce, already had his profile up on Christian Mingle.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about Christian Mingle. Christian Mingle evidently is for Christians to mingle. That's the
Christian
name.
And I am
So Tinder, farmers only, Christian Mingle. A sweet girlfriend of mine told me about the League.
What is the League?
The League is one where evidently it's where she was meeting or she meets kind of men who are very discriminating and have high net worth.
Oh, I thought maybe it was like people who like sports.
You know, that's probably why we wouldn't work very well in our single life, because I'm kind of there with you. But evidently the league
that
the
just
league was
sounds
something
like, oh, I like baseball.
No, but it's like if you're a
baseball?
partner, if you're a partner in a law firm, or if you're, somebody with high net worth.
With a league.
No, but if you have, if you're in the elite and you're making good money,
then they should call it the elite. Why do they call it the league?
Well, probably because the elite was taken. But anyway, the league is evidently for high net worth individuals and high classy women who would be found in the Upper East Side.
Right.
Okay, we can go down this part. But I do have that. So the League, then Hinge, I understand, is the newest one. My friend also says that he's attracted better quality women on Hinge. And I asked him why. And he says, well, because you have to load in more info. And so you see more about the individuals and about the person.
And less photo kind of deal.
Well, he says there's more about their family. And like this one friend, his kids are both out of college and they're both on their own. They're off the payroll. And he really doesn't want to be attracted to somebody who still has kids at home.
Yeah.
And so he's like, it has enough information there that I can just bypass somebody, even because, men, they look at a pretty picture, go, oh, I want to go out with her. No, but then you can read and go, oh, she still has 3 kids at home.
Yeah.
Whatever that may be. But so he said he's had a lot of luck with Hinge.
Hinge, I think a lot of my friends, like their older children, that's the thing that they're
that's what they're using?
Yeah,
Okay.
Hinge.
So maybe we should tell our own
I've
kids
heard
about that.
So
Bumble,
about
another one is called Bumble. And the unique thing about Bumble is that the woman is the one who chooses first. So
you know that you can do Bumble for if you're just like you want to find friends, like you move to a new city and you just want to find someone that has your like a girlfriend.
So if I want to make a friend, I can go on to Bumble.
Yeah, you could. I don't really think you need any more.
You don't think I need any more friends?
Or anything else to take up your time. That's what I don't think.
Hi, I'm John. I need a friend.
I need a friend. But I think that you can like say, oh, I like to do X, Y, and Z. And then you find someone who has your same, you know,
well, it's good. I mean,
interests.
I know our daughter-in-law went through a period where she really wanted more friends.
Yeah, and I think she did this actually.
She did, really?
I think she did. Yeah, like she found a couple of friends that were local, and they both enjoyed, or they were both worked at a vet, or I don't know.
Well,
sometimes it works out, and sometimes it
it
doesn't.
I always like meetups to meet people. Those of us that play Dungeons and Dragons, and I could do a meetup. Those of us.
Yeah, I don't think that we're smart enough to play Dungeons and Dragons.
I joined a foodie group on Facebook.
Food, I could do that.
This
all
lady
day
said
long.
I wanted to have a foodie group, and anybody who wants to go out. And she set this club up, and I was like, oh, I love food. Of course, I've never actually gone to one of those meetings, but I like when they invite me. I see all these wonderful restaurants they're going to, and the pictures they post afterwards, and I guess if I wanted friends, I could join that group.
You could.
But and I found friends in my I'm a
You never meet a stranger.
Manchester United fan club. So we have over 600 people here in Indianapolis that follow the Manchester United Red Devils. So that's a fun
what they
group.
are? They're Red Devils?
Red Devils. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
And so anyway, so Match. Evidently, Match is the classic. That's been around forever. And Match actually owns a bunch of these others. So I think they own Hinge,
so they're
Bumble.
like spin-offs or something?
Yeah, and they own all these things. But
okay.
But I was told that Match is a classic, owns most of these other companies. And Match makes you fill out a bunch of info. So my friend said, once again, he says you fill out a bunch of info, and the algorithms help, because I asked him about eHarmony, because I always thought that eHarmony was one that they tried to match your values and your personality with a certain
Didn't
type.
we have a couple friends at church that met?
We had friends who met through eHarmony, and they found great success. And one time I went to the Match office. I was in Dallas, and
I remember that we were living in Grapevine, and I
forgot I was selling them something, but I went into their office and I was blown away because on the wall when you walk in there they had thousands of pictures of couples. And
that they had
married,
matched up.
That they had married. Yeah. Oh, I know what it was that my friend told me. And sorry if I'm not mentioning my friend's name. He is single and he is very good looking. But,
he is single and he's ready to mingle. I don't know. He's met
someone.
though.
He's met somebody, so that's why I'm not saying
he's kind of off the market, I think, right now.
He is, but anyway, he was saying.
But I got a couple more that
one
are
of the
single.
things about Hinge that he really appreciated is that he said that and we haven't opened up any of these apps ourselves, but he said that their focus, their motto, their drive, and they say this to you through the whole thing, is their whole goal is to get you off the app.
Oh, so that you're successful.
Yeah. So it's like the opposite of chiropractors. You know, when you go to a chiropractor, they never want you to leave.
My chiropractor gets you in there and he tries to fix what's wrong, and he doesn't make you come back every week.
Chiropractors want you back.
You just stop.
Okay.
If you take a Tylenol.
This is another episode.
Or anything like that, that fixes you. Your pain goes away. What is wrong with getting aligned?
Well, first off,
it makes everything feel better.
We will have a future episode on what's medical and what's not. But
I don't care if it's medical. It feels great, and I feel good for weeks.
Okay, we're back to our dating apps.
All right, I'm sorry.
You might need this information. Hey, if I die tomorrow.
If you die tomorrow, I'm going to be super sad, and then I'm going to just not need anybody else.
For how long?
Forever. Okay,
so should I wait like a month before I ask Jennifer Garner out?
You can do what you want. I'll just come back and haunt you.
Well, she won't appreciate that.
She will not appreciate it.
If you like her, you would be kind to her.
You can do what you want, but I'm gonna haunt you forever.
All right, so here we go. So Match, Dating Classic, eHarmony. Some friends got married through eHarmony that we know. Mm-hmm. And then the other one that I know of, just because my friend Ricky Quinn is on it, is Grindr.
You're so mean to him. He is married to a beautiful, beautiful woman, and they have beautiful children.
They do have beautiful women or beautiful children, and she is a beautiful woman. But I will tell you, about Ricky. Sorry,
funny.
Those of you who listen to this podcast probably don't know who Ricky Quinn is, and that's probably a good thing. But Ricky Quinn,
he's funny.
Okay, now I'm not going to talk about Ricky directly, but I'll give you a fact. I read that 7% of married men are homosexuals.
Well, alrighty then, but it's not Ricky. I can guarantee you that right now.
He kind of represents about 7% of my friends.
I can guarantee you that.
No, the only reason why I say this, so Ricky is a heterosexual male. He is the most heterosexual male I think I had.
Yeah, that's why it's so funny.
A lot of guys who are homophobic will make fun of homosexuals and things of that nature.
Okay, this is also not our topic.
No, but what I'm going to tell you is real quick is that one time Ricky. Ricky is a horseman. One of the best horsemen in the country, and does clinics and things of that nature. And somebody used his photo on a used tack website.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, they took a photo of his clinic, and so on the advertisement, it had Ricky's picture with like cheaptack.com, something like that. And it was all over the internet, and Ricky was like, how do I stop this? So I reached out to him and I said, you can't use that image. And they said, oh, well, the photographer gave us permission. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, just because the photographer gave you permission, you do not have the right to his name and likeness. So I sent them a cease and desist letter basically saying we would take legal action. And they didn't realize. They said, oh, we're so sorry, because I said Ricky has an image and a reputation. Mm-hmm. So that went by. He said, thank you. Ricky was appreciative of my business savvy to get some cheap tack lady to stop using a photo. Well, what happened after that was I called him and I said, Ricky, somebody else is using your photo in an advertisement. He goes, what? I said, yes, let me send it to you. So I sent him this ad for Grindr.
Oh, my
And if you don't know about Grindr is the Tinder, but for men who like other men. And in it, you had all these pictures. You had Steve and Robert and Richard. And then right there in a cowboy hat was Ricky. Little Photoshop action kind of.
Y'all are so weird.
Yeah, so that's been my screensaver for a long time because nothing brings me more joy than thinking about, some guys who want a cowboy and calling up Ricky Quinn. So anyway, all right, so here's what we're going to do. Now, if I were to die tomorrow and you say you don't need another man.
Stop saying that.
Well, at some point, the odds are that you're going to outlive me. The odds are also that you say these wonderful things to me, but then I've seen your screensaver of John Mayer. Your Body's a Wonderland. Yeah, you grin. Those of you who are listening to us right now, I wish you could watch the YouTube video because she's turning red and she's grinning. So
I love him so much.
I know you love him so much. And just think, if John Hamm were in your bed, you could still say, oh, John, you please me so well.
Oh, I don't love him, though. I love you.
You just want, okay, you were like biting your lip, looking away from me. It's just so bad that, okay, so
But really,
I'm at least proving the point that there may be an interest in other men after I'm gone.
No, there won't be. That's just a joke.
Okay.
I'll be happy to have the bed and remote to myself.
So here, let's talk about this real quick.
And no rules.
If I were to write Suzanne's ad, so I'm going to pull a few of these. I'm going to say what I would write if I was doing your ad. And then I'd love for you to tell me what you would put if I were writing the copy, being your loving husband on these apps. So the app of Tinder, okay, which is a hookup app.
The swipe right.
I don't know whether you swipe which way. Tinder,
I mean, that's the one where you just flip through the photos.
I think they're all that way,
right?
but Tinder being the hookup app is like
it's quick.
I'm looking for something. Yeah. So
yeah.
So I think your Tinder app would say something like,
I'm anxious to hear. Go ahead.
If you like a good cook with a lot of sides. You like
got
that?
lots of sides.
You got a lot of sides. No, I was talking about a lot of side stuff. If you need some extra.
Yeah, there's plenty of extra.
Or I was going to say, known for multiple desserts.
Yeah, there's a big helping, that's for sure.
So maybe, I don't know, multiple desserts there for okay. So Tinder, you think I should have a swipe on Tinder? What would mine be?
On Tinder.
I mean,
and that's
the whole point
like
is to hook up. Yeah, what would you say?
hookup. If you don't have a lot of time, he's your man.
Thanks. Oh, because I'm
efficient.
No, I thought you were going to say that I'm quick to react because Tinder is like hooking up, so it's like they don't have to wait 3 days. They don't have to wait 3 days, and I'll respond quickly because I'm attentive to people's needs.
Yeah. Okay, next.
Okay, so Tinder, I now have my copy for Tinder. If you're looking for quick and efficient, John's your man.
I got your guy.
Okay, so farmers only. If I were going to write your farmers only ad,
That'd probably be the best one, I think.
you do like cowboys.
I do.
Like
I do like a man that
most
does
cowboys aren't going to take you to a palace. Though.
manly things.
Most cowboys aren't going to take you to fine dinners where you get to wear gowns.
Yeah, I do have the best of both worlds with you.
Okay, but if you were on Farmers Only, here's what I think would get you a lot of responses.
Okay.
Suzanne.
Why you gotta get like
Well,
that?
because
Like a little Barry White.
I'm picturing your picture as a single woman. So for those of you that know me, if you've ever been into my JS Marriott, the van,
I have a hot flash.
I have a beautiful picture of you right above my bed.
It's not above. Well, I guess
it's right in front of my bed,
at your feet.
Yeah, well, it's right. The first thing I see when I open my eyes.
Yeah.
I learned years ago when for those of us that live on the road, it's important to take our lives with us on the road. And I always would take a picture of my family and set it up next to the TV and different things. So
you told Patrick Dempsey about that too, and then he started to do it.
Well, I told Patrick Dempsey. It's
He's
funny
a
that you remember
cutie
this.
patootie.
He is a cutie patootie. I think he's back on the market too.
Yeah.
But when I first knew Patrick Dempsey, I'm such a name dropper, aren't I?
McDreamy.
McDreamy. No, but he was in racing for a while, and I used to carry a hard card around my neck, and on that hard card, I'd always have a picture of my family. And he asked me one day, he said,
awful
look
sweet.
He said, look at your picture of your family. That's great. And I said, well, I do this. I said, you have more of a temptation than I do because there's not that many women.
Because he's McDreamy.
Yeah, there's not that many women that are going to come up to me. But I said, if there's ever an attractive woman who's talking to me and I think that she may be flirting or thinking, hey, this guy's kind of nice,
yeah.
I can always kind of flip my card around and show him that that's my family. I always like talking about my family and my kids and my beautiful wife. And he goes, that's a great idea. So next race I see him, he came running up to me and goes, look, I got the picture of my wife and kids. He was so proud. But as a road warrior, I always took pictures with in my bag, and I'd put them out there in my hotel room. Same thing in my van. I have your picture right above my bed, and it just is a reminder that I will never have anybody anywhere close to that bed that won't see your picture right there.
And tell them what the picture is.
Well, the picture is you in a Texas apron, and I have had other people sleep in my van. Dill has slept in that van more than you have.
I can't imagine. Yeah, that's true. Y'all did go on a
my
trip.
70-year-old mentor. 70.
Okay, you better make that
I think
clear.
I don't know if he's 70 yet.
My
He may be
7-year-old
68. But anyway, he's one of my mentors. I love him to pieces. He called me one day and asked me if I would go on a road trip with him. I was all honored that he asked me. Then it turned out that it was just because he just wanted me to drive him on a tour that he was doing. But he slept in the bed next to me, and he slept in that van more than you have.
Yeah, I don't often.
Yeah, you've never.
I have
taken a shower. You've been in there twice, and they were both at wineries. But
no, I've been in there more than twice, but I haven't showered.
Okay, but let's
and
hurry up.
done
Get back to the
all
point. So the
get
whole
ready
point of that
stuff.
picture is you are
Okay.
you are in a Texas apron. You are holding a shotgun in one arm.
I am.
There's a bottle of wine on the counter, and you're holding out a plate of chocolate chip cookies. And
That I made.
that you made. It is essentially the Suzanne picture of Suzanne pictures.
It is quintessential Suze.
So when I lower
Yes.
my voice and I think about the Suzanne picture that is going to be on farmersonly.com
It's
with
going
you
to
in
be
a
me with a shotgun
a
and
plate
cookies.
of chocolate chip cookies
Yeah.
and a Texas gown.
Okay.
And the copy will read, can unload a round bale off a flatbed without any help.
I can push that baby
You
right
can
off.
push that round bale right off, and I
have
don't even
done
have to
it
get out of the
many
truck.
times.
You also know the etiquette on opening a gate, because like when somebody who's
True.
driving the truck or the four-wheeler and you pull up to a gate, the person in the passenger seat,
You got to get out.
Get
and
your
open
ass
the
out
gate,
there and open the gate.
And then you got to wait until they drive through and then close the gate.
and then when the men keep reading, they'll say, knows about animal husbandry, can bind up horse wounds. You
can
do
do.
that. And trim goat hooves.
Can do.
Limited llama experience.
Limited, but I do have a little.
You do. You saved a llama's life only to have it
3
be killed.
times only for it to.
I mean, I think
We talked about that.
I got to
on
tell
Dead
you,
Duty.
the
episode.
farmers only might be a good one for you, because some people who like goats, you got that.
I got
chickens,
that.
ducks, pigs, rabbits,
Got it
dogs.
all, baby.
I mean, you've got it. Mm-hmm. Know how to take care of donkeys, horses.
I've nursed this. Cowboy's doing good. I've nursed him back to health.
So, on that unfortunate day of your demise, and
Mm.
I'm on farmersonly.com, what will my ad say?
Wow. See, you have notes. I'm just thinking.
Freewheeling it.
Freewheeling it.
First off,
If
let me just
you
tell you, I'm
have-
probably not going to meet my.
How about this? If you have a honeydew list, make sure that you have a checkbook handy for him to sign it for the handyman, because he will definitely pay somebody to do it for
Well,
you.
I love supporting contractors.
That you do.
So farmersonly.com, you're going to be like, loves the outdoors.
Loves the outdoors, would gladly pay for a handyman.
You know, I am more of a rancher than an actual stockman.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to learn the stockmanship better. But the ranch owner drinks bourbon while the
Yes.
other guys are still
While I'm
working.
running around in my apron in the shotgun. Although
Once
I have to say,
my farmers only ad is now being ruined by you.
I will say though, if something needs to be taken care of, raccoon in the barn, something like
can
that
shoot it.
in the middle of the night, you are a good shot.
Thank you.
And you will take care of business.
I will
and
tell you.
And you will take care of it where I don't have to see it or deal with it or whatever.
It's only
I
when
have
I'm gone you
thrown
have to do dead duty.
We've talked about that. I've
We have.
thrown, animals over
Okay,
the
I will
fence.
tell you, like, we've only gone through 2 apps here. I don't want you using Tinder when I'm gone. I don't think you need that.
I don't think I would ever use
Farmers only. You do like guys who can do shit.
I love it, man.
I know, and
If
and
you-
you look at the
you
Ryan
go
Brands,
outside
and you look
and
at the Ricky
you
Quinns,
do-
and you look at the Joel Connors, you look at those guys, you're like, man, they're
if
men.
you do work and you get dirty
Mm-hmm.
and you're outside and that's
I will tell you.
the ticket for me. I
will
like
tell
to
you-
watch you work, man.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
good
amazed.
stuff.
Yeah, I remember even at our lowest point in our marriage, when we almost broke up, and we were going through counseling, and I felt like I had a spiritual breakthrough in my life. I told you, it wasn't until you saw me mowing the grass that you actually felt something for me.
Well, there's a little more to that.
There's a lot more to that story. We'll talk about that sometime. But
But-
it was me doing manual labor.
Yes, because that's what you were doing something for me that was important to
right.
me, and not.
So if I'm gone tomorrow, I know you say you're not going to date.
I just don't.
I could
even
see you
like
falling in love with.
talking
I
about
could
it.
see you falling in love with a rancher or something like that. Now, one thing I will say about farmers only, my cowboy buddies that are married. I think about Lance. I think about Ricky. I think about Robbie. I think about Joel. Dear God, their wives are gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Like, how in the hell? Like, I know these guys. Like, Lance Freilich doesn't have that much redeeming qualities, but my Lord, Sunshine Freilich is one of the most beautiful women I've ever been around.
And they're awesome.
And Ricky was not a nice person when Sarah fell in love with him. She's made him a nice person, and well, Christ,
Sarah
Jesus has moved in their life and
molded
stuff.
that man into a lovely human being.
And what's funny is, like, I hope he never listens to this podcast, but like the most attractive kind of cowboy guy out there.
Ryan.
No, well, Ryan, no,
He's adorable.
no, Robbie.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
no, like he was traveling with Buck, and I remember a woman up in Chicago or Wisconsin, one of those places, called him a beautiful man-child.
Beautiful
He's
man
just
child.
a beautiful
I don't know
man-child.
if that is very much.
And I was like, where in the world is he going to find
man-child?
Well, because he could barely shave at that time, but I had like a T-shirt made, beautiful man-child, and all that kind of stuff. But I was thinking, okay, he won't marry anybody as good looking as him. Was I wrong?
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, it's like God molded this woman out of butter or something, and she's just beautiful. But so farmers only, I'll give you a shot on that one. Okay, so Christian Mingle, ChristianMingle.com.
Christian Mingle, I think you would excel.
Oh, you do?
At Christian Mingle. Oh, yeah.
Which denomination would you put me under? Would it?
I think it would be a crapshoot, man. You could take any of them on.
I could do Missionary Baptist.
You could do them all,
I could do Catholic.
man.
I could do Methodist. I could do Pentecostal.
Yeah.
You are. Maybe that is where I'm going.
That's gonna be your. That's going to be your forte.
First off,
there.
Woody Allen always said he never wanted to be a member of a club that would have him as a member. It's kind of the same thing. I don't think I'd actually want to get to know any of the women that are on ChristianMingle.com.
Let me tell you.
Your
you
dad,
would be a catch.
Sorry. I'm forgive me for saying your dad, but one of us whose fathers were single, his sister put him on Christian Mingle. Now, your dad is well known inside of the Christian universe. So it just is funny to me that somebody would swipe and go, Big John Hall. I wonder if that's the same Big John Hall that sang at my church on Sunday.
Of course it is. You know.
I can say this because I don't think your father ever knew he was on there because your dad and computers.
No, yeah, I don't think he knew how to use it.
You worked for your dad. Did he ever use a computer?
Goodness, no. That was back when none
so
of us
he
had
would need
computers.
somebody to actually look. So that's why his sister did it.
I guess so.
So all right,
more savvy.
You're a Christian Mingle lad.
Yeah, I don't know if my Christian Mingle.
You're Christian Mingle lad. Let's start off. Preacher's kid.
Yeah.
Preacher's kids. That describes.
Preacher's kid kind of sounds like trouble.
I know, but a preacher's kid is a preacher's kid.
I know, and they always get in trouble.
I know, but I'm just telling you, there's a certain DNA to a preacher's kid, and you are a preacher's kid. Accommodates. Here's what I put on your. Accommodates someone that has strong convictions.
Well, that's true. I'm a rule follower for
you
sure.
Are a Pentecostal, but love liturgy.
100%. I lean more towards liturgy than I do.
But you believe
the white hanky.
I know, but you believe in the gifts of the Holy Spirit.
I do. I believe in it, but I just don't.
Christian Mingle, I don't really see you going on someday. But what would my...
I'm not going to go on any of these. I don't know why.
So what would my Christian Mingle be?
Your Christian Mingle would be, let's see.
Likes a good potluck?
I think that you would need to take from all denominations on this one. May or may not dance. Loves a good potluck.
I really don't, though. I like the food at a potluck.
Truth. That is truth. You hate a potluck.
I creep out at a potluck.
Yeah, you hate a potluck for real.
No. They had this. So just this past week at my office.
You never eat at our church potluck.
They had like a chili cook-off, like 4 or 5 different things.
You're not going to eat that.
And the girl who's in the office that oversees the office, I went up to her. Her name is Ashton. And I said, Ashton, do any of these people who made this chili
they have cats?
That's exactly what I said to her. And she goes, oh my God, John, do you not like cats? I have cats. I said, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I said. And I walked away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't
know
like
how
potlucks.
you are.
So I'm off a Christian Mingle.
No, you wouldn't be off. We would just, I guess we would have to not.
Hey, there would
be, I guess you couldn't get a Methodist girl if you didn't like a potluck.
We were with a pastor friend of ours yesterday and had a meal with a pastor friend of ours and his wife. And one of the things that he said was that he's too Pentecostal for the evangelicals and he's too evangelical for the Pentecostal. And I fear that, I can't go onto CatholicOnly.com. They do have a Catholic dating site, but because most Catholics wouldn't necessarily be accommodating of my charismatic Pentecostal view.
No, I think you could just put it out there. I think you could just.
You think some crazy woman out there goes, "Oh my gosh, I go to 10 churches a weekend too."
If you find somebody that does the same thing that you do, okay. Today, we're driving home from Nashville, and
we're recording this on a Sunday evening.
Yeah, and we watched.
Well, we went to church first to see.
But we didn't stay at church, so we had to leave. So, but I mean,
I started the mass this morning while we were getting ready.
Yes, okay. We had mass on the phone.
The great hotel had this sound system that you could Bluetooth into, so we could hear it throughout the whole suite.
So we did mass then. Then we went and saw our friends, and then we left, and then you did our church.
No.
Yes,
yeah, I did. You're right.
did.
We did Methodist Church.
Where our time changed. So
Pastor Mark is doing a great sermon series right now.
So we did that. So we had
saw the
that
Advent candles and all that kind of stuff.
And then you switched over to Eastern Star.
Missionary Baptist.
Yep, and we had to listen to that. And then
we've got a new
but you weren't done.
Excuse me, we got a new associate pastor there.
He's got a Barry White voice.
Oh my gosh, this is the first time you've heard him. Mm-hmm. And what's funny about him is I believe he's single. And he is a pretty good looking, what'd you call him, a tall drink of water?
No, I didn't.
A dark drink of water. He's Barry White. He does have kind of a voice.
He's just got that low voice.
And I tell you, as soon as I saw him in that pulpit the first time, I think about half the single women in the choir are all going, I think I need to introduce myself to that one.
I need to be Mrs. Preacher.
Yeah, I need to be Mrs. Preacher, or I need to be part of that welcoming committee, because if you're looking to marry a very attractive missionary Baptist pastor, he is now at Eastern Star.
Mm-hmm. But that's...
Anyway, so then we listened to Eastern Star. That was great.
Then we had one more church service, and...
then we did Grace, because I love the worship there.
And then I was just like, holy cow, I think you were looking for another one. And it was a 5-hour drive home. And we were almost home by the time you got all your church done.
Well, but I did turn on Bethesda after that, too, and watch a little bit of the kids. But...
I was online shopping. I was tired.
Okay, so ChristianMingle.com. You think that's a good one for me? I
think you would excel at that, because you kind of spread out over all the denominations.
Okay, so here is the next one.
If you want somebody to go to church with you 18 times on a Sunday.
Okay, first off, I will tell you, your dad was blessed with his second wife.
That wanted to do all that stuff? Yeah.
Well, no, because like your mom and dad, your mom didn't necessarily, she played piano for him, all that kind of stuff when they were first married and you were on the front pew.
Yeah.
But then your dad was somewhat like me in the fact that he loved being in church. Wednesday night, Sunday night.
But go to church.
And watch Fox News. But he would love it. And then when God blessed him with Judy, she liked going to church with him, and she likes going on those things.
He found somebody that'd go to church with him all the time, and that made him happy.
All right. My problem is that if I did marry somebody who wanted to go to multiple services with me, she'd probably talk between the services.
Oh, yeah, you don't like that either.
No, because I like to process. When I leave the Catholic Mass, I've got about 20 minutes until I walk into Eastern Star.
And we're not allowed to talk in church either, which is acceptable. I mean, I wasn't allowed to talk in church when I was a kid, but I mean, like, when your husband reaches over to tell you and another adult that is perhaps your parent.
Side notes.
To please be quiet.
You and Matt Simmons can't sit together in church.
Yeah, we're not allowed to sit together.
Okay, so the next app.
But we're funny.
Yeah, you are. The next dating app is The League. As I told you, this is for high net worth individuals and things that. Okay, like some New York titan, some wealthy billionaire.
I think it's dumb.
Well, on your ad, it would be appreciates fine handbags and designer shoes.
Amen and amen.
Your love language.
My love language is spending your money.
This is the one app where you might find a guy who can afford everything that you actually want. Think about that for a minute.
Yeah, but wouldn't I have to be just as
hot as you are right now? Absolutely.
No, just as make just as much money and having a career.
These are people who live in their CEO suite and don't have time to go meet women, and the women that they meet are below them. You
don't think I would be below them?
Oh God,
you think
no.
I would be right there with all those
First off, on The League, I also put comfortable at formal functions and entertains royals well.
Ooh, because I didn't touch that one.
You didn't
remember?
touch the princess.
I was so good, I didn't touch.
No, and certain other royals kind of gave you one of the up and downs.
Oh, you think?
I do. I think
because I got a lot of sides.
I think you would be a wonderful princess.
Oh, honey, that's the sweetest thing you ever said.
Well, you are.
I like to be a princess.
But my only fear about you going on The League is that you would find some man who is incapable of paying you the attention that you deserve. Because if he's truly like a CEO type and working all the time, and you're just like
time. That would get on my nerves.
You are not a jewelry to be worn. You are not a wife to be showcased. So... but the good thing is he could afford your lifestyle, and I don't think the men on Farmers Only are going to be able to afford some of your things. I don't know. So if you find the right rancher,
you can't afford some.
I can't afford any of your things.
And we seem to be doing just fine.
But there are some ranchers. That have nice planes too. So I could kind of see you finding the right one there. So okay, The League. The other one here on Hinge. we would put that you have.
I think you would not like the league.
Well, first off, I wouldn't qualify for the league.
No, but I mean, like, if you wanted...
Oh, hold on. I could be a kept man.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you would like that,
I might turn gay for Bill Gates. I mean, like, if there was some female... He would buy me an island.
I don't think that you
would
like that.
I should back that up real quick. I used to say that I wanted an island, and then Jeffrey Epstein... So I do not want an island.
Yikes.
I just would like to be alone with nobody else around me. And satellite TV and maybe a ship that I can drive around there.
But you would have to have telephone service because God knows you can't
satellite
go 5 minutes without using the telephone.
Okay. So maybe I would go in the league and meet my CEO. Actually,
I don't know how much you would like that.
Well, like, I don't know. I could see me marrying someone.
Oh, my gosh. When you've been gone for a week or whatever and like... If you come home and I'm tired because you've been gone for a week and you're like, can you just put your hand on my back? You're too needy. You're so needy.
You don't think I'd be a good wife type of a husband that would take care of the needs?
Needy.
Like, if I was on the league and I met the CEO of some massive corporation, okay, like Facebook or something like that.
Yeah.
You don't think I'd be a good supportive husband that could like take her laundry, go shopping.
Hell to the no.
Have dinner ready when she comes home.
Oh my gosh, John, you.
I would love.
So out of sorts.
I would
that
be.
Is not
I would
your
be
jam.
good. If I was married to somebody that had multiple properties, I'd be the perfect administrator to handle the ranch, to handle the home in Hawaii, to handle.
Yeah,
the
now you
place
could
in
do
New York.
that, but I mean, you would still need that personal touch.
Mm-hmm.
You would still need. You would need attention. You just need attention.
You don't think I could shower her with that much attention?
I think you could shower her, but I don't think she could shower you with enough attention. I think it would drive you crazy because you weren't getting enough attention.
Do you think I could be do you think I would how do you think I would react if somebody made more money than me? Would I like that?
Yeah, I don't think that'd bother you at all.
Not at all.
I don't think that's a problem at all.
I've always thought I'd love to be a stay-at-home dad.
You would never be a stay-at-home dad.
Especially
You
if
would
all
be so bored.
No, I'd be the best stay-at-home dad once the kids are out of the house, and I just stay at home.
And worked. You would work.
No,
you would work. You would
I'd
never just stay home. You would never just stay home and watch TV. You would
Oh my
never
gosh,
just stay home.
I could be that guy
for about a day.
I could smoke cigars.
It would last a day, and you would be coming out of your skin.
So here we go. I'm gonna let's see. E-Hinge, Bumble, Match. All these are kind of the same thing when it comes to this next one. But I think your ad on like a normal. These are all like normal things. I think your ad would be.
You have nothing on there about body temperature.
You have adult kids. You loved your husband up until his last breath.
That's true.
Yeah. Gets joy from feeding and care of others.
I do.
Yeah. So it's interesting to me that my friend said that the algorithms kick in. Like, what
do you think it would kick in with people who need those kind of people, or people who are similar to those attributes?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. It's like, because he said when you're only looking at tall women who are Christian and from the South, then you start seeing more of those. Okay, so like. Based on your history, you would see a lot of guys named John that play music or have a large or well endowed like John Hamm. That's it's like you're going to see a bunch of Johns.
How would you know that?
You did?
I did not know that.
Whatever. There's a reason why John Hamm walks like a cowboy.
I didn't tell you. I don't know anything about that.
Okay. But okay, let me ask you this.
There is one article.
There is one article. So
one article I read about.
Let me ask you this then. What did you love about dating? Think back to when we were.
I didn't love dating. Well, I'll take that back. What I loved about dating was that fresh kind of admiration of somebody else.
Oh, like new appreciation, new friend.
Yeah, new appreciation. But here's the thing, sweetheart. You are always very appreciative. You know? Mm-hmm. You make me feel special.
Well, because you're
even after all these years.
You're a words of affirmation person.
I am, and I pretty much demand that.
So, no, but I was thinking about dating. So,
but it's that whole new kind of thing. Like after it's been around for a while, then if it's not the person, then it becomes work.
Yeah, see, I only had a couple of girlfriends, really. You always laugh.
Well, you dated everybody.
I dated, but we never went out on a second date.
Yeah.
Like, I had a bunch of short...
I was not a dater. I was...
Yeah, but I'd go out with people.
Relationship
I'd go out with
person.
people, and I've shared this before. I came to the realization that you're probably the only person that could put up with me.
I think we all know that, and that's why my girlfriends will
I have
be
so many good girlfriends. What's funny is...
coming to my dead bodies of
If you were to pass away, we've proven the fact that your best girlfriends will honor you and will not want to ever be with me. Like, there's no chance of me ever ending up with one of them.
Oh, no.
And they will be aggressive at stopping any other woman from being with me.
Probably, yeah.
Now, those are your friends. I understand that. Here's the sad thing. My best girlfriends, Michelle, Gail, let's name them all. Mm-hmm. They'll be just the same way that your girlfriends are.
Pretty much, yeah, because I'm a friend stealer.
No, not even that friend stealer, because they know me so intimately that they also realize that I would not be for anyone.
You even have that shirt. I'm not for everyone.
Oh, I'm not for everyone. I mean, dear God.
You're just for me.
My best friends, like Michelle, she would kill me within a week.
Everybody would.
Yeah.
That's why I think we are definitely ordained by the Lord, because I don't think either one of us could live with anybody else.
Well, and recently there's a opportunity within the Catholic Church for married men to be in ministry. And one of the things about, if you do go down this path of becoming a permanent deacon, one of the things is that you make a commitment that you're not going to remarry if your wife were to pass.
See, I'm on board for that for 100%.
I know.
Because I want you to be sad and miss me.
No, but if I was in that role, I would be happy and joyful in providing love to a parish and community.
See, unlike some women that pick out a woman, you remember that Everybody Loves Raymond episode where Marie picked out the woman that she wanted Frank to marry.
Oh, she did?
If something happened. And then Ray and Deborah talked about, well, who would it be for you and all that. I would never do that, because I just want you to be sad and miss me.
That's good.
I want you to be miserable at the time of my death.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I do.
I really do appreciate that. No, but one of the things I loved about dating, though, I get what you're saying. New relationships,
that new admiration when somebody thinks you're pretty or that you're smart, or...
I loved the first kiss. That was always nice.
But after, it's just... oh my gosh. Seriously, though, in all seriousness, the thought of ever having to do that again just makes my stomach turn.
Well, my heart really goes out to my young friends, because my single friends, they're all my age, but my single friends, several of them would love to be married. Several of them would love to be...
It's just hard. It's hard right now. It's hard in this age bracket that we're in, too.
So here's kind of our last little thing. Well, there's two things here. Our son married perfectly.
Yes, he did.
The woman who he dated before him was not the right one for him. Yep. He had all these other girlfriends. The one that he married is absolutely the one that God chose for him.
100%.
She brings joy to our family. She's amazing.
She puts up with him. They are both the nerdiest little
They geek out of the stupidest things,
together.
But they're perfect.
They're so fun.
And she loves him as he is. The other thing that I love about her is her parents love him and accept him.
As he is.
And the one thing that we learned, and I've told him this when he was dating a certain person, I said, you don't just marry an individual. You marry a family. You marry into a family. And he married into a family, and he married into a great family. He gets wisdom from his father-in-law. He appreciates his mother-in-law, and
as a mom,
respects his mother-in-law.
As a mom of a boy, I am so thankful that he has in-laws that, are not afraid to say, hey, let's talk about this, because, they're young. They're learning how to navigate marriage. So I appreciate the fact that her parents kind of chime in, and he listens to them and to her dad, they have a really neat relationship, and I'm very grateful for that.
Roland's just a cool dude, the dad.
It's a great family.
So our son married perfectly. We have two other children that I would claim as being single, even though
They will both be great spouses.
Okay, so that's my question. That's my questions. What are you seeking in our other kids? So you make fun about mine, but it's like if I were to write a dating ad for my son, first off, I know that he is not dated to this point, but he's going to be the best husband. He is. He's going to be the sweetest dad.
So considerate, and he's kind.
Oh my gosh, he's the kindest, most loving, hardworking, awesome dude. But
we don't just say that because he's our kid. He really is just.
But if he shaves, and
but a lot of that happened. I mean, think about John Andrew. We would say that about him too. And then when he had someone to do it for,
what's funny to me is like I always laughed between us. It was like I always feel sorry for who's going to marry John Andrew, but whoever marries J. Daniel, they've
hit the jackpot. Yeah.
He's
John Andrews turned out to be a pretty good catch.
He's great.
So surprisingly.
And I laugh about this, but it's like Julianne, ever since she was little, has wanted to be in love and have a relationship
and have babies. That child.
She was in third grade
mama.
and fourth grade wanting a boyfriend, and she has the most loving heart. And she
loves everybody for
creative.
who they are.
No, one of the things that caused us an issue when she was like in seventh grade was when the girls started being mean, and when girls started being judgy and cliquey. She's just the type of person that wants everybody to get along.
And so she really didn't have a lot of friends.
She didn't know how to react when people weren't being nice to her and stuff. And she is. She
just thinks you should be kind.
She's going to be the perfect partner for somebody because she just wants. I think she wants a best friend. Mm-hmm. Who wants to have a bunch of babies, and she loves cats. She loves all that kind of stuff. It's like, she's funny. Yeah, she's sweet.
She's a little mother.
But the wonderful thing about Julianne, when she was 5 years of age, we sat on the front porch swing, and I was swinging on the front porch. And I said, baby, you might have your first kiss here on this door. Someday, somebody's going to bring you to this door and kiss you goodnight. And I said, what's that look like to you? And she said, oh, I'll be wearing a purple dress.
She also wanted to live in a purple house.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But I said, if you will, when you're 25 and you're able to date, when you're old enough
25.
to date. Well, I said after you
slid
get
that
school,
in. When you're 25.
She signed paperwork, by the way, committing that she wouldn't date until she's 25. So she's kind of honored that. I appreciate that about her. But
she's very picky.
She's 20. She's so funny. And I hope that a guy discovers how wonderful she is. I want both of our kids to fall in love, and I hope they will.
Well, I do remember this is a kind of a indulge me here for a moment as a mom thing, but one time I was with the son that shall not be named, and we were in the car, and I said, do you want to find a mate, a wife and get married? And he said, well, yeah, I wish I would find somebody like John Andrew found Natalie, and that was the sweetest. And then I said, well, that is so sweet. And I said, well, what makes you a fan of marriage? And he said, well, and he thought a minute, and he said, you and Dad.
Oh, that's sweet.
And I thought that was great that maybe we're giving him a little bit of in between the yelling and
you told
screaming.
The serious thing. I'm going to tell you the funny thing. So I asked him one day, I said, do you want to get married? He goes, of course I do. And I said, well, don't you think you need to take a shower and get cleaned up and comb your hair? And he goes, Dad. I said, what? And he goes, if God can bring John Andrew a wife at Bob Evans, he'll do fine with me. And literally, he's right. God is the one who orchestrated the seemingly random things in life for John Andrew to be married. And it's going to do the same thing for them. We met in a hot tub in Hawaii.
It worked out for us.
It worked out for us.
But not for having to try hard, that's for sure.
No. Okay, last thing. This is our longest podcast, I think. But okay, last thing. Single friends. So if we were to have a Marry Your Best Friend app, okay, I think we would swipe up instead of left or right.
You mean if you were to design it, that's what you would do, is up instead of right?
We're going to raise it to heaven. Yes, like a prayer.
Oh, my Lord. Raise it to heaven.
Okay, there you go. So, single friends. Thanks.
And that's why you would be on ChristianMingle.com.
Hey, I bet they would let me on there for free if I did ads.
I'm sure they would.
This podcast is being brought to you by Single Mingle. Single Mingle. Okay, so if we had a Marry Your Best Friend app, okay, I have, I'm thinking about, we have some single friends that absolutely,
Are we going to name those single friends?
Well, I have their names
I can't
here.
believe, don't say their names on.
Okay, but your girlfriend that you go camping with.
Yeah, I love her.
Is an amazing
She's a catch.
woman. Oh my gosh, she's a catch. She owns her own house. Mm-hmm.
She's got a great career.
The funny thing about her, though, is...
And she's funny.
She's like you, though. I don't think she needs a man.
No, she fixed her plumbing by herself by watching a YouTube
Of course
this weekend.
she did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she's
I
smart
talk
like
about
that.
my two of my best friends, one from college, one from work days. Both of them are single. Both of those guys would marry you tomorrow. One of them, my college... I know. You never want them to get married because they're your backup. But
They're totally my backup.
my friend from college, you always say, he dresses well. He wears Ferragamos.
He
loves Jesus, and he is a great catch. And he'd love to get married someday, but now he's my age and still single. And well, today he's traveling in Poland.
I know, he can do what he wants.
He does what he wants.
Kinda
He's
nice.
incredible, great catch. If you're looking for that kind of a guy, please contact me.
Well educated, well dressed.
My other friend is the one who told me all
Well-spoken.
about these dating apps, and he's kind of seeing somebody right now that he's really excited about. So he's kind of off the market. And then I work with an individual at my same little company. He's single. He's divorced. He's single, and I work like 4 feet from him every day. And I think that he is an amazing guy.
He is
Now,
an amazing guy.
He doesn't have the patience to listen to this podcast.
He doesn't have the patience to listen to you. In fact, circling back
I love this guy.
to the earlier
He'd be a great
podcast
husband.
that we did in this
Yeah.
week about your medication. He often tells me that he tells you to take your medication. And he has on occasion called me and said, "Does John have his medication?"
Thanks for sharing that on the podcast.
Yeah, just thought everybody might want to know.
Yeah, so should that be? Should we list medications on our dating apps? I mean, should it say? That, I don't think you want to do it all at the front end. Like,
Yeah, you might need to trickle that stuff in,
a little later.
little sprinkles at a
Well,
time.
I'm just telling you, this individual that I work with, he's a fun guy. He loves sports.
He's fun. He does fun stuff. He's a good cook.
Oh my gosh, he's a great cook. And he's been a CEO of several nonprofits, and he's just a fantastic guy.
He likes the outdoors.
I would put him on he would be on the cover of the Marry Your Best Friend podcast.
He would make
Or not
a
podcast,
good like
the app, the dating
friend.
app. Oh, he's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Good
He's
guy.
great. And then, of course, I'd put J. Daniel in there, too.
My sweet JD.
Yes.
They'd have to come through me though.
Yeah,
I'd
and
have to filter all those out.
And then that tall drink of water, my friend Ryan, he's off the market.
He is off the market. Yeah,
He's
found him.
fallen for a girl who wears sparkly boots.
And that's just fine.
I think it is, but I don't think her boots have ever actually been in manure the way his have.
No, he's a true cowboy.
He is a true cowboy. And he found a pretty blingy girl that's really sweet, too. So, all right. So, I think this episode has given me hope that when I'm gone, you'll be okay.
I'll be okay. You know I'm going to be okay. I'm always okay. I just will be sad, and I hate to talk about this. So I'm glad we're done with this podcast.
Well, and the truth of the matter is, everybody should know that when I do pass away, I'm not going to go on a dating app because Jennifer Garner will already be here. I mean, it's true. I just feel sorry for it. I even told the priest that I was talking about. I said, the worst thing about, possibly going into the ministry and promising not to get married again is that Jennifer would really be brokenhearted.
You just keep
Jonathan,
on
what would they
thinking.
call us?
Just keep on dreaming about that, sweetheart.
Well, she's from West Virginia, and I like West Virginia girls.
Music, play me out.
Oh, I'm ready to play you out. Okay, so join us. Oh, I got a couple of things here first. So
Do we have some business to
we got some
attend
business to attend to. So
Okay.
first things first, you do have, if you want to email either one of us, we've talked about previous podcasts. We'd love to pray for our friends. Let us know how you're doing. You can follow us. Follow Suzanne. You're funny. You don't accept many people as your friends, though.
I know. He picked up my phone the other day and it
You
said,
have like 345 friend requests.
he's like, I know this person. Why are you not accepting this request? I was like,
Well, it's true, because I was like, why are you not accepting this person? And then even the person we had lunch with yesterday, she goes, hey, tell your wife to accept my friend request. So that was kind of funny. But the other thing is that I was going to show this is some ways that you can support the podcast. If you're listening to this ending of the podcast, for some reason you have made it this far.
And this was a long one.
This was the
And
longest ever.
probably not hilarious.
Here are some ways you can support us. Like us on Facebook. Okay. You can subscribe on YouTube. I think we're up to 54 subscribers.
I am married to a salesman. Can you tell?
No, but you can hit subscribe. Even if you don't watch it, at least if you hit subscribe, it'll let you know when a new podcast comes out. You can follow us on Instagram. Okay. And then here are the other ones. You can share the marryyourbestfriend.org. You know, there's a marryyourbestfriend.org website that has all of our previous episodes.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't even know that.
You can tell your friends, go to marryyourbestfriend.org.
I don't know a lot of stuff that you do that I'm supposed to participate in.
And if you have commercial opportunities for us, if you want us to highlight your product here in this podcast.
Clever girl.
No, I think the only one that could afford us would be like Gabe and Keeley. We could advertise.
Ooh, we ate at Ladybird Taco today, and it was phenomenal.
Hold on, you're giving away free advertising on the podcast.
I am totally giving this away.
It's the best taco I have ever had in my mouth.
It's the best brisket taco you will ever eat.
Oh my gosh, the brisket is so good.
Where else?
I get brisket, and I get Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
They're opening up. They'll be across the country soon. But
gosh, it's good.
Oh my gosh, they make their own tortillas that melt in your mouth. You have brisket that is good Texas brisket with avocado, and then you put some of their Patron kind of ranch dressing or ranch salsa on it, or the tomatillo. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm closing my eyes because I'm savoring the best taco I have ever had in my life at Ladybird Taco, the sponsor of this show. I'm manifesting it, okay? Because maybe Gabe will give me a gift certificate for $20. So if you're listening and you do have these commercial opportunities, feel free to email us at stewartfarm@gmail.com. And of course, if you want to Venmo, Zelle,
do
PayPal.
it for our children because
okay, your dad.
Need the money.
He was the best. Your dad would always sell products. He goes, all the proceeds from tonight's product sales are going to needy children.
I have two.
Richard
two. Has three. That was his organist. Yeah. And Richard has three.
That's pretty great. Well, anyway, thanks for joining us on the Marry Your Best Friend podcast. We sure enjoy the friendships and the relationships. I love the emails that we get after these podcasts from friends who said, I liked that or I didn't like that. Let Suzanne talk more. I love your point of this. One of our friends, Summer, said, y'all are talking my language. And,
well, I hope so.
Yeah, and Andy Aiken sent us a note, and he was the great. That made my whole weekend.
Same,
from that
me
kid.
too.
So anyway, thanks for joining us on the Marry Your Best Friend podcast. Our next episode. Are you ready for Suzanne?
Okay.
Join us next time.
I'm listening.
On One of Us Loves TV.
Oh, that's all about me.
I know. Well, or anybody else who likes Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. We are going to talk about TV.
It's my
series
favorite.
you love.
I love TV so much.
Sitcoms.
I even watched on TV the other night the history of sitcoms.
I think I was snoring by that point.
It was good.
I love you.
Love you.
Don't die.
I'll try not to. Let's do it together.